I'm Jenny from the Salty Side-Eye. We're glad you're here. Today we're in St. Petersburg, Florida, where we have spent Thanksgiving, and it has been glorious. On this next video, we're going to be on Lake Michigan. We came down the eastern seaboard and saw some towns that I definitely want to revisit. It was beautiful. The water was beautiful, the people were nice, the towns were clean, the sand was unbelievable. I hope you enjoy. So this is a map of how we worked our way down the coast, and we stopped at all the towns that are labeled. We'll start in Charlevoix. Most of the towns, when you come in, have a lighthouse, and they're gorgeous. So in Charlevoix, you have to wait for the bridge to open if you're too tall, like we are, but it didn't take too long. And then we stayed at the city marina, which is right downtown. It's a perfect location. And downtown, they have this large chess game in between all kinds of cute stores. You can also take a tour of the mushroom houses when in Charlevoix. There were about 25 that were built by a self-taught architect. Charlevoix even has its own stone, which you can find on the lake shore. You can also find Petoskey's, which is the state stone. That's the large ones in there. This one right here in my hand is a Petoskey. But when you see the ones with the smaller markings, those are Charlevoix stones. This day of travel, we traveled 45 miles down Lake Michigan, where we found the town of Leland. Now, it's right at the edge of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Park. This is the marina in Leland. It was very convenient. It was nice. We loved Leland. The beaches were beautiful. Fish Town. It's an old fishing village recreated to kind of tell the story of the fishermen. And they have these shops in this fishing village that were just wonderful. Phil got some fish dip that he was enamored with. And that night we sat on the boat and watched the sun go down. But we had no idea that in the night we would see these northern lights. It was incredible. None of us had seen the northern lights before, so it was quite a treat. We stayed in Leland a couple of nights and then headed out for Frankfort. This is the world's largest freshwater dune system, and it stretches over 71,000 acres. Some of these dunes are just incredible, and people climb these and go into the park and hike. Look at that. Some of them reach over 450 feet above the lake. This was established in the 70s to protect the natural resources of this area, and it is stunning. At some point you think, oh, that must be it, but then it just keeps going and going and going. Look at that sand. People rent dune buggies and ride all over those dunes. When you look at the website for the park, rangers say they have to rescue about 36 to 37 people a year on average. I imagine if it got hot, you could really be in some trouble if you didn't have water or know your way out. But they are majestic. Now the girls are getting ready to put the fenders out to stop in Frankfort, Michigan. And we did some rock hounding here also and played on the beach. We have a very hard time keeping Longfellow out of the water when we go to a beach. He loves to swim. We stayed there just one night. It was nice. The beaches were nice. Another beautiful town on the coast. Highly recommend. I'm sure the crowds are a lot more in the summer,
but it was perfect when we were there. We made our way down to Ludington, and this is in Ludington. Of course, there's swans. I had to take pictures of swans. Swans or dolphins, I'm there for it. Now, while we were eating dinner on the boat, we look up and this giant ship comes by our boat in the marina. I'm like, what in the world is that? And it is a ferry that takes people to the Wisconsin side from the Michigan side and back and forth. But it was a huge ship. We enjoyed a couple of nights there in Ludington, and then we left. More swans, of course. The boating was very easy on Lake Michigan. We didn't run into a lot of wind. Of course, we watched the forecast, but some of our other boating friends had warned us about the weather and how the winds can really affect you. Look at that. Their lighthouse was so cute. Loved it. Leaving Ludington, we were headed for a shipwreck. We were in search of the Nova dock that sank in 1940. And we found it.
Where is it?
This was a 253-foot steel vessel that sank.
There it is.
And 2 people died, but the remaining 17 crew were saved. But you can see it right below water. People dive to this and check it out. It's very well preserved underwater. The water is so clear. It's about 12 to 15 feet down. And when you start to see it, it was shocking. There is the bow of the boat. It's amazing to see.
Is half of it. It cracked in half.
If you're boating through Lake Michigan, be sure to look up the coordinates so that you can find it. If you have a drone, get your drone out because you're going to want video of this. This is right from the boat, so you can see that we're just right on top of it and you can clearly see it. But with the drone, you even get better pictures. There is our boat on top of it. And there we are trying to get on top of it. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Our next stop was Grand Haven. Look at that lighthouse. I love it. And I also loved Grand Haven. It knows how to welcome people. The beaches are beautiful. The boardwalk is beautiful. It was great. Loved it. Highly, highly recommend. Now, I can't guarantee empty beaches like this in the summer, but in September,
Look at this.
it was great. Are you ready to take me on?
Yes, so.
2-0.
This one's 2.
4-3. And while I did hold on to my reigning champ status in ping pong, they also had this game, which he is so much better than me at cornhole. Love it, but he just does better than I do. So pretty equal. We went downtown and it was so cute. Great shops again, great food. The water was beautiful. And we just really enjoyed Grand Haven. But we left Grand Haven, sadly, and we went to Saugatuck, which, oh, wow, it was neat too. It had a long entrance if you're on a boat to get into Saugatuck, but it's well worth it. It's really nestled up in there. Every little town we came across had an entryway like this, and It takes you inland. But this one was especially long. Beautiful homes along the way. Saugatuck has quite a history, and it's a very interesting town. And in talking about shops, they have streets and streets and streets of shops, of art, of restaurants. You could stay here quite a while and not repeat restaurants and just enjoy yourself. Here come our fellow loopers, Ed and Allison, heading out in their boat. We've met a lot of neat people, and there are two of them. Now, I mentioned Saugatuck, and it's beautiful downtown. There were butterflies everywhere. The flowers were great. We loved it. But one of my very, very, very favorite things was getting to share Saugatuck with some of our dear friends who came to visit. It was a special treat for Rhonda and Dave to come join us on the boat for a couple of nights. We had so much fun. We even put them in daycare. And we played on the beach. We left Saugatuck with them and went to South Haven. Dave, what do you think?
This is amazing. Oh, these are our friends. Dave and Ron.
South Haven was great too. Every time we would get to a new town, I would think, oh, this is not going to meet expectation. But there were even pirates.
It's a pirate ship.
Phil got a paddleboard for us and practiced on it here in South Haven. I was waiting for him to fall off because I thought that would be great video, but he did not. He's on to me.
Can you stand up?
We will enjoy that, especially in Florida.
Hey, stand up.
Next, we went to St. Joseph and spent a night. It's a neat town, has a lot to do. The downtown is not as big as, say, Grand Haven with shops, but it has enough to do and a great park right on the beach. Has a great boardwalk. Because of impending weather coming, we decided to just haul it from St. Joseph to Chicago in one day. So we did. It was a good ride. We enjoyed it. And we're so excited when we could see Chicago in the distance.
Chicago!
So fun riding into these big cities that you may have driven into or flown into, but on a boat, it's just a whole different perspective. Everybody was excited, even our co-captain. So join us next time as we take on Chicago. It was quite a trip. Thanks for watching. Please don't.
Great loop. We got dad just retired, the pastry chef and the high school senior, and mom is the first mate, just keeping it fun. We got a little pup and y'all are gonna love him. He gives the best side